Tonight, before we kick off the racing show, we're going to thank a few sponsors. We're going to kind of change it up a little bit tonight. So, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dirt Track Race Cars and Company, dirttrackracecars.com. Go hit them up for all your racing diecast needs. 164th and 124th steel. Also, we would like to thank our sponsors, uh, New England Hemophilia Association, so Walking with Wayland page, and then also Brody Manning Motorsports. But to kick things off, ladies and gentlemen, um, it is time to fire them engines up tonight on the Josh Nolan and Oliver S. Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube. We have a real racing legend in the sport of auto racing with us tonight. We have with us from Westport, Massachusetts, Mr. Dustin Gagne. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing good.
So, Dustin, how did you come about getting into the sport of auto racing?
So, obviously it's generational. My dad originally got into racing in the early 80s, and he went on to work for the Craftsman Truck Series inaugural team for Robbie Rizzo, and then later worked on Mike Stefanik's car for probably 10 to 12 years. And I just kind of was born in it, always been around it, and that's kind of how that happened.
So when you stepped in your car for the first time,
mm-hmm.
What was that experience like for you, if you can look
back? Just kind of natural. I mean, everything kind of just felt like home, and I just kind of took to it, and we got the ball rolling. Started racing a bunch of stuff, and went from there.
So, how would you define your racing careers thus far?
Hectic, to say the least. Where we got a very busy schedule the past couple of years. The past 2 years, I ran a legend program for Glenn Schlowski and Team MSM. I helped kind of get their program to where they needed to be, and also on top of that, I raced for T&M Chassis and RPM Motorsports. So, kind of a full deck.
Okay. So you said it's kind of hectic. So does that mean there's a lot of travel involved in it?
Oh yeah. Last year we did about anywhere from 3 to 5 races a week. So I was on the road Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, Dustin, what makes legend cars, flat cars, and cage cars so spectacular?
Just kind of the people. It's all about racing's all about the people and who got you into the sport, and it's more of a family than a racetrack.
Okay. So, how does racing a legend car compared to racing a flat car in a cage car?
A lot more power. It's a lot more hand-eye coordination. You're not on the pedal the whole time, like you're lifting, you're shifting. There's a lot more involved with it. You've got to be on your game in a legend car. I'd say out of everything I drove, a legend car is probably the hardest thing to drive.
Okay. Is that because of the shifting that takes place on the legend car, or?
Probably just because of the power to weight ratio. I mean, you weigh 1,100 pounds, and you're close to 200, or if not north of 200 horsepower. So the power weight ratio makes it really hard.
Okay. So, what would you say is your most important victory in your racing career?
Probably this one right here. I won this past summer. It was my father's memorial race.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah. I won this past summer in July.
Yeah. So what happened to your dad, Dustin, if you don't mind me asking?
He passed away last winter from stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh, not good. I can kind of relate to that whole scenario. I lost my sister to stage 4 lung cancer also, so I can kind of relate to that. What goals did you set for your racing career?
Um, I really, when we started, we didn't really have many goals, and then as things progressed and I got better and had more opportunities, more opportunities came in the door, and it kind of broadened my horizons a little bit. Now I'd say I just kind of do it for the fun of it. I kind of left chasing championships behind the past couple of years. We finished fifth in the nation in the road course this year, and the legend car. I finished fourth in world finals down in New Hampshire. So I think this year our main goal is going to be chasing the money, going to all the crown jewel kart races, and really focusing on our program and our sponsors and making it the best season we can for our sponsors.
So, what makes your program so successful?
To be honest, it's just the community. I have a lot of real smart and talented guys behind me. I have Hall of Famer Phil Rondo. He's my crew chief. He travels all over with me. I get a lot of financial backing from a lot of great companies: Black Rifle Coffee, DeWalt Tools, Diesel Dave's, DePaul Diesels, just to name a few. Right Away Solutions, Hearth and Harbor Therapeutics. That's just to name a few. I could go on and on with sponsors, but those are the main ones.
Okay, so you said you have a very busy racing schedule. You race. Um, how does that work with your family? You guys able to balance that out, or
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, you know, you make do, and you're gonna miss weddings, you're gonna miss birthdays, you're gonna miss a lot of important parts of life, but it's a sacrifice you got to make when you race.
okay? So, did you achieve some of your goals in your racing career so far?
Yeah, I'd say we've been pretty successful the past couple of years. We've got quite a few wins under our belt. There's still obviously a bunch of races I'm chasing and I want to win, but I'd say we're pretty successful to where I would like to be.
So, with chasing races that you want to win, what's some of the races that you would like to win?
Um, One that has kind of got by me the past couple of years is the DKR 50. They host it in Maine. Um, Past 2 years, I finished fourth, and it's a $5,000 win go kart show on asphalt. I've been chasing that one for a while, just haven't been able to close it out yet. There's a couple memorial races, close by that I would like to win. And if I, when I get back into a legend car, I would love to win a world finals, somewhere in the States. From what I'm hearing, the talks are they're going to go to Europe for
Ooh,
this next year. So if that's the case, I will not be going to Europe to race, but we'll see how that plays out.
okay. So, Dustin, what are some of your weaknesses that you need to improve on with your racing team?
Definitely patience. I don't have a lot of patience when it comes to racing, and that's just kind of something that you get with time. I get up on the wheel, and I get a little ahead of myself sometimes. I get myself into situations that I probably could avoid if I just had a little more patience.
Some of the drivers, speaking of that, Dustin, some of the drivers, they have, messages in their car to help kind of calm them down in the situation. Do you have like a message in your car?
No, I just kind of let it rip. I
Okay.
don't need mementos or anything like that.
Okay. So, Dustin, did you ever think you would be this successful with your racing career?
When we started, no, it was. it started off rough, and then I kind of found my niche and found my place, and I found something I was really good at, and we just kind of been lucky, and I'm thankful for all the opportunities that I've had thus far. But we're looking forward to the next couple of years, definitely.
So in the next couple of years, what do you plan on doing?
Um, right now, we're gonna focus on, like I said, next year. I'm gonna focus on the karting program, try and get a little better with that. I go in 3 weeks to Atlantic City for the indoor auto racing.
Okay.
Mike Perry built a really good program for me. Uh, my teammate finished second last week in Allentown, Pennsylvania, at the first race. So we're just gonna try and keep the ball rolling, going to Atlantic City, and see what we can come up with.
So what's it like to race that indoor series? Because I hear a lot about the quarter midget stuff on their indoor stuff in Ohio, but I don't know, haven't heard a lot about the indoor stuff like with Allentown and Atlantic City.
Um, it's cutthroat. You got to be on your toes. Everybody brings their A game. You got a lot of talented people there. Cameron Carter, Doug Sturley, just to name a few. I mean, you got some of the top go-kart drivers in the country that come down to that event to try and win it. So it's definitely, you got to be on your toes and have the right equipment.
Okay, so who shares in the success with your racing team then, Dustin?
Um, it's just kind of me, all my sponsors, my car owner, Glenn Shalowski, he's been a big help. You know, my parents, they've always supported my racing and, done everything in their power to keep me racing and keep me going in the right direction with it. But there's lists and lists. I could go on for, weeks about who's helped me, be a better racer and a better person overall.
So, Dustin, where would you like to be with your racing career?
Um, obviously everybody wants to be in the Cup Series and
Oh yeah.
that. Eventually I would like to move down south and you know work in one of the programs at Joe Gibbs and as a engineer for the program. I have toured a couple of the facilities and talked to a couple of people. I'm very close with. I don't know if you heard of him, Gio Ruggiero.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I'm very close with him, and obviously he's working his way to the Cup Series. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping maybe eventually I can, maybe grow with him and grow with his program, or kind of make my own way. Um,
Now, okay, talking about Gio Ruggiero, did he have a dad by the name of Reggie Ruggiero?
he did not, no,
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that was yeah, yeah.
but
Um,
yeah.
so Dustin, you know, what have you been doing in the off season?
Just kind of getting the cars ready, with the Legend program. We just added a truck to the program for the 2024 season that my teammate will be running. So, just a lot of hours in the shop preparing and kind of getting cars ready.
So, are you yourself gonna do some truck series stuff too? Um, even though your teammates are running the truck.
So it's a good possibility, in the next few years that I will transition into a truck or a SK Light or something of that caliber. We haven't really decided yet what our plan is. We're just kind of taking it 1 year at a time to kind of see how the truck program works out and where we're going to go from there.
Okay, okay, okay. Alrighty. So with the truck program, are they kind of looking at eventually going NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series stuff with it, or
No, just local series. Uh, our local tracks, Waterford Speed Bowl, Stafford Speedway, tracks like that.
so? Okay, let's talk about Waterford and Stafford because I don't know a lot about them tracks. What, okay, what is Waterford and Stafford like?
Uh, Waterford's more of a laid back. That's kind of where you want to cut your teeth with any of the bigger cars before you go on over to Stafford. Stafford's got a really good program. Whenever you pull your trailer into Stafford, you're going to go up against some of the best. Um, on a Friday night, you could have 10 cars that could win, the SK show or the SK Light show. You just got a really good field of cars and a lot of talented and smart people that prepare those cars. So that's
When it comes to, when it comes to your like your kart go karts and your legend stuff, do you get to do any testing with that or not?
we've tested. I've tested several times at several different tracks in legend cars, go karts, kind of all over the place. Just trying to get good notes and test new cars and stuff like that.
So how can I put it this way? How do you figure out the balance between go karts and legends?
Well, it's hard, but obviously the legend car is my number one priority in the season. Obviously there's a lot more sponsorship and backing with the legend car, so most of my priorities put into the legend car. But we also do have a couple kart races a year that I try and put focus into, and a lot of work into to try and win and stuff like that. But most of my time is spent in the legend program.
So you're also race karts, you said. What have you taken away from the kart series that follows you into the legend series that you can say, hey, I learned this in karts?
Just being smooth, a lot of setup stuff. Like that's kind of where you learn your basics in a car, and that's the main thing I took away from karting is learning how a car is supposed to work, how it's supposed to rotate, what you have to do, what's loose or tight, kind of just the fundamentals of racing.
So with your kart, you do primarily pavement with that, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Would you ever, consider doing some dirt kart stuff or not?
So I would. I've had a couple opportunities to get in a dirt car. I just haven't, took them because of my schedule. But I would love to try dirt, and I want to go down to Daytona in the next couple of years and do kart week, and see how we size up to them guys.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So have you ever been to Daytona Kart Week at all or not?
Yeah, I've been a couple times just to kind of check things out and see what it's about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, definitely Dustin. So, with the kids coming into the racing world, do you have anything you can pass down to them to kind of help uh help get them going in racing?
I would just say keep at it, even if it gets frustrating. Like my first couple of years of racing, we wrecked a lot of stuff and spent a lot of money trying to, get to where we needed to be. And I just say keep at it. Don't give up. Just keep going until you get it.
Okay, okay. So, Dustin, it's that time of the racing show where I would like to throw the mic over to you. If you have any questions for me, you're more than welcome to ask me.
Uh, I don't really have anything. I don't think.
Okay, okay. Do you have a racing team page that the racing fans can learn about you more?
Definitely MSM, MSM.com, or our Facebook page, Melania Shalowski Motorsports.com.
Okay,
Is definitely something you can check out. My personal stuff, my Facebook, Dustin Gagne, Gagne Racing 11. That's definitely something you guys can check out if you want to learn more about me or learn more about my programs that I have and the teams I'm involved with.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go hit up all them pages up because you'll learn a lot about Dustin Gagne. So, Dustin, okay, one of the other questions I have for you is, racing stuff. What's your favorite part about racing that you enjoy the most?
Probably the end of the night in Victory Lane. Some of the best memories I have are in Victory Lane. I've been lucky enough to be in Victory Lane with a lot of cool people and meet a lot of cool people in Victory Lane. I When I was touring Joe Gibbs, I got to go down a Victory Lane with Christopher Bell when he won the Roval race back a year ago.
Oh,
There for that. I was in Daytona for the last 500. I got to go to the truck Victory Lane for. We actually debuted the Craftsman Truck Series trophy there. I've just been a part of a lot of really cool Victory Lane ceremonies because of DeWalt Tools and all my affiliates.
very cool, very cool, very cool, Dustin. That's some pretty neat stuff there. So, when it comes to you enjoying being in Victory Lane, how do you celebrate with your in Victory Lane with your team?
Just kind of let loose and have fun. I mean, just it depends. If you win a lot of money, then you're going out spending. But most of the time, pretty laid back, just quick fist pump and picture, and you're on your way home.
Okay, okay, okay. So, Dustin, thank you very much for being on our racing show. Um, where did your race car number come from?
So funny story. My my stepmom and dad were married on 11/11/11 at 11/11 in the morning. So that's kind of where the number comes from, and that's kind of the story behind it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dustin, for being on our show with us tonight, talking to us about your racing career, getting to know you a little bit better. Coming up beginning part of April, I'd like to have you back on here again, kind of give us a preview of what you got going on with your racing career.
Okay.
Um, so, Dustin, I will let you step out. I'd like to thank some of the fans and then close and do a little racing news update stuff, and then we'll give you a call and thank you in person.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Racing racing news update stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. Legendary crew chief Ryan Pemberton from the NASCAR series passed away today. Don't know the whole extent of things, but our thoughts and prayers are with Ryan Pemberton and his outfit. Um, and then also racing news update stuff out there. Definitely a lot of stuff going on. I was made aware of today. There's a lot of Pennsylvania drivers that are going to start touring and traveling with the two different sprint car series. So we'll see where that all ends up because Brett Marks is now going to join the high limit series, and we'll see where all this ends up. Also, Carson Macedo has won a couple of races over in Australia on the sprint cars, so congratulations to Carson Macedo. But the World of Outlaw stuff is going to be getting underway here rather soon. Teams are hard at work getting their last minute preparations together to conquer the Not Andrew Drink World of Outlaw series this year. Also, a lot of NASCAR teams are getting stuff ready to go on the road. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night. Catch you later on another episode of the Joshua and Oliver Full Throttle Racing Show #1 on YouTube. We would like to thank all of you fans for being a part of this with us. So with that being said, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.